Hello and welcome to a webinar on learning how to bring buyers and media to your booth for the new Inspired Home Show. We know your time is very valuable, but we feel we have a lot to share and it's really worth your investment in this time. So thank you for your time and participation. The objective today is really how can we share tools and resources that are available to you as an exhibitor to maximize your investment at the show and ensure success. My name is Jon Jesse. I'm Vice President of Industry Development for the International Housewares Association. With me today are Nancy Michael, Senior Manager of Trade Show Business Development, and Debbie Teschke, Senior Manager of Public Relations and Communications. And together we will take you through this webinar. Don't worry about writing down the contact information. We'll have it posted again at the end. If you do have questions today, which we would encourage you to certainly share those questions with us, at any point during the webinar, we will take your questions. Just please use the chat function to submit those. In addition to that, you should be aware that you'll be receiving an email within 24 hours after this webinar with a link that you can refer back to as well as share with your associates. It's also will be available on our website, housewares.org, after this webinar as well within 24 hours. Before we get started, we should share with you, and I'm sure you're all aware, of the reimagining and rebranding of the show from the International Home and Housewares Show to the Inspired Home Show 2020. Just to give you a sense for why that's occurring and why our board and senior management went down this path. The whole thought process behind this is historically the Housewares Show and then the International Home and Housewares Show really focused around basics, functionality, and that type of direction. However, based on where the consumer is going, certainly where the retailer is going, and how you as an exhibitor are adapting to that evolution, so too should the show evolve to be one of more lifestyle and inspiration. And that's really the reason why we're going towards the Inspired Home Show. So with that, we have developed a brand new website, which is different than what's occurred in the past. So what you see on the screen right now is the inspiredhomeshow.com. That is now a show dedicated to, that's a website dedicated to the show, as opposed to last year, this falling under housewares.org. We will keep housewares.org. That will really focus around member service and other non-show related type of activities and events. But certainly for today's discussion, everything's going to fall under the inspiredhomeshow.com. The show certainly provides you and offers you avenues for success, whether it be in finding customers, reaching international markets. We are known as a top-to-top show, so that's important, as well as certainly generating consumer interest through media exposure. However, the key to really be successful is to be planful. What we're going to take you through here today is it's really important to be prepared for those activities that occur before the show, those things that occur during the show that you can plan for now, as well as activities post-show to maximize your investment and ensure success. And in almost every case, with a few exceptions, those are free, and we will highlight those throughout the webinar today. So let's get started. This show can certainly help you succeed, and what we want to do is break this webinar really into three different sections. The first section, we're going to talk about how to attract buyers and media to the show and to your booth. Secondly, how to use really one of the primary drivers for retailers in terms of a resource, and that is Housewares Connect 365, which we will refer to as HC 365, and then certainly reaching the consumer through use of media. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to Nancy to get started on the marketing kit.
So good day to you today, depending on where you're calling from. It's morning or afternoon. So we're going to take you through the marketing kit. I just want to kind of frame for you, we're 8 weeks out until opening day. So I would really encourage you to spend some time today, tomorrow, this week, making sure you get through all the marketing opportunities, whether you're just looking for free or paid. This is when things start to get very hectic and things start to sell out or deadlines come and go and you miss opportunities. So I just want to get that framed for you. So we mailed a physical marketing kit back in November, If you did not receive it, that's okay. It's really meant to be used along with the website. Everything you need to know will be on the website. And again, you're going to go to the inspiredhomeshow.com. And then up at that top navigation, you see Exhibit, and pull down that menu. We're going to pull down this menu a couple times during this webinar, but for right now, we're just going to focus on the marketing kit, and you're going to select that box that says Marketing Kit, and then it's going to take you to the landing page. Again, the physical kit kind of mimics this, but here are all the tiles. They're pretty user-friendly. To get you into all the opportunities, whether it's attracting buyers or attracting media or trying to get products on display, etc. So we're always available for questions, as is your sales manager, so don't be shy. Reach out to us if you have questions. These are really important tools and will help attract buyers to your booth. We know this from time after time again, speaking with our exhibitors. So once you go into a lot of the opportunities, for instance, like buyer's list, which I'm going to show you in a minute here, but you're always going to be taken to a sign-in page, and this sign-in page gives you access to your USI or your Ungerbach checklist, your exhibitor checklist or exhibitor portal. We'll refer to that a lot as. Because most of these are unique to you and not everybody can just have everything. This is only for active and placed exhibitors. You're going to see this screen a lot, so be prepared with your email address and your password. Once you click through that, this is just an example, but here's like basically what your exhibitor checklist looks like. You'll have access on the left hand there to get into the marketing kit or get into the exhibitor services manual. But really what you're looking at and being focused on are all these tasks that fall under this checklist, and we're going to concentrate on some of those today.
So for this attracting buyers portion of the webinar, we're going to break this down a little bit into those activities before the show, those during the show, that you can take advantage of, as well as the post-show, like we had mentioned earlier. Excuse me. And the key to a lot of this, as we mentioned earlier, is to take advantage of them because they are free. So before the show, the key really is to find and access the buyer list. This would be the buyer list that was from 2019, last year's show. The buyer list is an Excel format, and you should be able to access it, and most everyone knows how to use Excel, or as someone certainly within the company that does. So you know it's sortable by multiple different opportunities. So you want to be able to download the exhibitor checklist. There are no email addresses on this list, and that's by the direction of the retail community. We continue to prompt them to allow us to send that information to you. As soon as we have that green light, we'll certainly share that. But there are other ways of certainly being creative once you have the buyers list downloaded. So to really get some detail behind how to get there through the marketing kit or the exhibitor portal, you'll see here how to download the buyer media list page. You'll see the 3 links across the top, one for U.S. buyers, one for non-U.S. attendees, i.e. international buyers, and then one for news media. That will allow you to access the buyer and media lists, and then again, have access to them via Excel and sort them any way you would like. The one thing we will tell you, however, is our show shares this list with all exhibitors at no charge. If at any point you do receive emails or communication that asks you to purchase the buyer list that is not from IHA, it is very important to recognize as part of the exhibitor warnings that we communicate to everyone that these buyer lists as an exhibitor are for your use and your use only. They're not for sale. And then with that also is if you have anyone that tries to solicit those lists to you, I will guarantee you, number one, you shouldn't be paying for it because they're free. And secondly, they won't be accurate. Our list is the accurate list from our show as a benefit of being a member and an exhibitor. We will mention one other thing real quickly, and that is I noted, you'll see it at the bottom of the screen there, to view all the exhibitor warnings. Please note down the website it would be important for you to really look at all the various exhibitor warnings just to be as prepared as possible for the show.
Just a note to that, where we just showed you how to get into the marketing kit. On that same drop-down, there's a warnings tab you can click to read all of them. And I'll cover it more again at the end of the webinar. But the poachers are active, let's just put it that way. So we're going to go now into HC365, which Jon mentioned. This is a really important tool. This is essentially where you get to populate everything you want about your company. This is the place where your vital information gets directed into the on-site directory in the mobile app. And this is where buyers go to plan their show, and we know for a fact that they use it because we do retail visits, and we've been told that for some of our really larger buyers who come with their big teams, this is a really important planning tool so that they can get through the show efficiently. So this tool is dynamic. Your competitors are going to look at it. Our sales engine search on this is very good, so often there'll be a lot of consumer traffic on here. So keep that in mind when you're posting information, whether it might be proprietary or not, particularly pricing. And this is something that's open to you at 365 days, and we encourage you to keep it updated during the year. So we had 300,000 searches last year, again, buyers, consumer, and media, looking through these exhibitor profiles. And then what we've found over the years is that listings that are complete, listings with catalogs and images, are viewed 75% more frequently than somebody who really just doesn't populate it. So this is an important tool. I would suggest spending some time on getting everything in there. And we're going to talk about some of the new features to here, which is very important for media. So let's just make sure we get those populated. 8 weeks, guys, 8 weeks. Okay, I mentioned just a second ago, everything that feeds into the HC365 company profiles also feeds into our mobile app on site. I believe we're ready to download this now. You can get that through iTunes and through the Android.
Google Play.
Google Play. So encourage you to use that on site. There also will be a kind of like a pocket directory for our attendees as well. Okay, so we're going to talk about updating your company profile and what it looks like. So again, we're back to that screen, exhibit, and you can see down there it says update your company profile, and you're going to click that, and it's going to take you right into where you need to go at theinspiredhomeshow.com. There's that sign-in page. And again, you've got theinspiredhome.com, you're going to hit exhibit and then update your company profile. And then you're going to sign in to your checklist. And this one is directed right to the task of update your company profile for show buyers. So in some cases, you're going to get into your checklist and it's going to show you all your tasks. And some, we've just made it easy. You don't have to read your list. This is just going to direct you right to updating your company profile. When you click on that, lo and behold, there's all the navigation for updating your profile. You can go through these one by one. You can come in and out of it as often as you like to make updates. But basically, you want to get through each and every one of these tasks to make sure that your profile is complete. You probably have seen some of this through your tips of the week and your Exhibitor Connect. Really encourage you. I know we send a lot of email, but those two, your tip of the week comes from your sales manager. Exhibitor Connect comes from basically the sales and ops team. These have really important deadline reminders and things that we really need you to do. So you will probably have seen this a little bit. And we have been sending out specific tasks for updating your company profile. So you may have already done some of this, but again, I think you're getting my point. It needs to get done. Here's some recommendations. If you're going to post catalogs, you want to do 1 megabyte is the best in terms of opening quickly and sharing content. So a lot of times you have to break up your catalogs. Catalogs have to be in PDF format. You can have no file names. or excuse me, no symbols in the file name. I already talked about the catalogs, and then product images have to be a JPEG or a GIF file in order to be able to be opened. Okay, so here we are again with another warning. This comes from Fair Guide. If you've been in this industry long enough, you've probably received this. This looks like a very official letter, comes in the mail, addressed to you. This is a contract. Don't sign it, throw it away. There's no need for it. It's about a $3,000 in, and they'll hold you to it. Just beware. Okay, so once you go through all those tasks and you put in your catalogs and you put in your YouTube videos and you put in what you need to put in, now you're going to kind of see what it looks like when the buyer or consumer sees it on the site. Okay, so you're going to see this navigation, and you're going to see some animation here, but basically, this is just very easy for the buyer to deduce. Where are you located? Do you have photos? Do you have videos? Are you retailer friendly? And it allows everybody to build their own briefcase. So that is an important thing there in terms of how buyers use it. So we're going to use Dexis as our example today, and you can do a keyword search for Dexis, a company name for Dexis, and it's going to take you to their profile. And then I think it's going to show you there. We just went through that. Booth number, photos are available, videos are uploaded. We don't have this populated because we were still working through when we built the PowerPoint, but if you're part of our independent retailer program, which John will address in a few minutes, and then the briefcase that they can, you know, it's going to map out the show for them, and I'll show you that in a minute. Okay, so now everything's filled out. We're at Dexis's company profile. I just want to show you at the top there, like let's say you've gone now and you're looking at your own profile and you're like, oh, well, X, Y, and Z, he's not there anymore, I need to change a contact. You can access your portal right from the top there. You just click on that Here button. It'll take you to the sign in, and you can go ahead and populate. But here are all the vitals. So you'll see Dexis International, and you've got their company logo. Oh, I'm going to go along with John here because these are out of order. So the company address and contact info, your booth number and what expo hall you're in, your company logo, your contact names. It asks specifically like who's your consumer contact, who's your sales manager, etc. Here's your company description, and the thing here you want to note is that anything you put in your description is searchable. That actually goes right into a keyword search, so you want to be thoughtful about how people might find you and what you put in there. And then if you have Made in USA products, which we'll talk about shortly, that it will show that you're self-selected for that. Next slide. We had to break it into 2 slides because it's long. There's where you would have videos, and you must use the full YouTube URL in order for that to work. Your company product categories, your show site events. Debbie will talk about this a bit, but this is very important for media. Your brands and licenses. These also get listed in the printed directory, so please make sure that you're listing everybody. If you've got the Coca-Cola license, make sure you get it on there. And then this is new. So we used to have a way for you to get your new products with photos and descriptions to media, but there was an issue with it. So what we've done now is we've moved it onto HC365 so that anybody can see what your new and featured products are. You can see it's a little bit of a different format, and this is unlimited. So you can go in and put in your new products. I would encourage you to just put in new products because no media person or PR person likes it when they go and they find out that it's been on the market for 2 years. So just keep it to new products. Highly recommend you put this in there. Debbie will talk about it a little bit more when we get to media. Okay, so just to summarize, this is the tool that buyers and media use to plan their show and remember consumers see it. Buyers and media This is where they go to search new and innovative, and they use it to support newsworthy stories for their editorial. Hence, again, events are important to media and buyers. And then here, this is going to take you through like how a buyer or media person might use this. So you can see that there's a keyword search there, and you can go and put in candles, and it'll pull everybody up who's got candles or whatnot. So here we're going to search by, what are we searching by? I'm not sure. We're going to search. Go ahead and hit that. There's the search drop-down box. So you can do keyword, company, show category. And then they're going to search this. And then here's what happens once they do that. So this is a buyer now who's building a briefcase, okay? So they've selected 6 companies, and it's going to break down for them North Building, South Building, Lakeside Building, wherever they've selected. And then once that list gets together, it's going to map it for them. And then it's going to show you on the floor plan by number order, 1, 2, 3, 4. This is the South Building. And it's going to show you exactly where you want to go. So this is what happens when a buyer is working through 365. So now we're going to take you into like what happens during the show, and opportunities that you're going to want to do during the show to get your brand or company recognized.
Nancy, I have a question.
Yes?
Is there a place to put press releases on the dashboard? That's probably for Deb.
No, you cannot post a press release in your HC365 profile listing. Anything that you would want to say about the company, I think you should put in your the company profile descriptor at the top of it.
There are ways to get your press release out, and Debbie's going to cover that shortly. Okay, so during the show, what are things that can happen during the show? So here's a list of exposure through sponsorships. We've added new sponsorship opportunities. It's not one size fits all. There's several different, depending on what your budget is, and ways that you can sponsor things and get your name out. I will tell you they're limited. Again, we're 8 weeks. If this is something you're interested in, I'd encourage you to make inquiries about that right away. But there's some really great opportunities to expose yourself so people see you. It's a big show, so you want to get your name out there.
So if you've been in the business for a while, you know the number one question always is when going into a trade show is what's new. The best way and the easiest way to get your product and your new product exhibited in front of the retail community, in addition to certainly your booth, is to participate in the New Product Showcase. The New Product Showcase are located in the buyers clubs in each one of the expos. Within the expos, you have an opportunity to expose your product. It's signed there with obviously the product name, description, your company name, and where your booth is located. But also buyers and media, who are the only ones who have access to the buyers clubs, have an opportunity to come in, get a scanning gun. They can scan the product, and then at the end of the show, they will get an email with all the product that they scanned in the New Product Showcases, and who the contact information is at the exhibitor, for the exhibitor, that they can go ahead and do their post-show follow-up. Conversely, you as an exhibitor will get a list after the show, an email listing all the product and all the buyers that scanned your product in the New Product Showcases. This list will include email addresses, so it is a pretty nice way to get direct email contact information to the buyer, on top of the fact that they wouldn't have scanned it unless they were interested in the product. So it's a great way really to not only get your new product out there, but to really have a follow-up lead. This is one of the areas that does cost. It's a $300 fee to enter your product into the New Product Showcases. The deadline for this is quickly approaching January 25th, so we'd highly encourage you to do that. But part of the reason that there is the entrance fee is that anything that is in the New Product Showcases becomes GIA eligible. GIA is the Global Innovation Awards. That is really the industry award program. The GIA awards are for 14 different categories and are judged by a professional judging panel of media and retailers and other industry appropriate people who judge the product categories. Winners and the finalists are announced, and the winners are chosen during the awards ceremony on Saturday night at the GIA Awards event. What happens then is they are designated as winners on the show site in a display, which this year, it's actually very exciting that this program is now going to be relocated from the Lakeside Lobby, which is the Hall of Global Innovation, to the Grand Concourse Lobby, which is in between the north and south buildings. It's the most highly trafficked area within the show, and this year, if you have product in there and you are a finalist, your product will be displayed in that area. So if you want to get your new product out, it's a great way of doing that. Again, deadline for that is January 25th.
We have, we have two questions.
Okay, sure. Go ahead.
Will exhibitors be able to know how many or who have added them to their map?
No. Unfortunately, when this was built, that didn't exist, and we haven't upgraded yet, so you cannot tell what buyers are mapping your product or your space.
And one more, do you accept prototypes in the new product showcase?
Yes, we do. The key would be, though, the product needs to be available shortly after the show, and although we can't really follow up on that, if a retailer is interested in that product, it certainly, they would not be happy. It would be a very big disappointment if the prototype is in there and it's not product ready, certainly within the year that we're exhibiting at the show. So, but we do accept prototypes, yes. Okay, anything else? Any other questions?
That's it, thank you.
Good, thank you. So let's move on. Pantone, another great opportunity. It's one of the premier destinations for retailers is the Pantone display. Exhibitors have an opportunity to get their product displayed in Pantone by getting information from the marketing kit, submitting product if it's appropriate for your particular category and your particular product. If you submit for that, Pantone is the company that will make the decisions in terms of what is incorporated into the Pantone display. If it is chosen by Pantone, there'll be a designation via signage as to who the exhibitor is and where their location, their booth is at the show. And this is free as well. So if you have an opportunity to participate, if your product is appropriate, we certainly encourage you to do that. We will tell you again, it is a premier destination this year. That too is being relocated under the new Inspired Home Show from the Lakeside Lobby to the Grand Concourse Lobby. So there'll be a very highly trafficked area for your product if it is in the Pantone display. Deadline for that is a week away, so I would encourage that as well if it's something that's appropriate for you.
So we're throwing a lot of information at you, and I would tell you if there's one thing that you should do, it's to sign up for a free lead retrieval. And I challenge you to tell me any other show that gives you a free lead retrieval. There's two different versions. You can do one on your mobile app. They give you 2 licenses for free, or you can also go for the tablet. There's about 400 of each of those available. They do go very quickly. One of the things with the lead retrieval is that is another way for you to gather an email address. This is considered a business card transaction. You can see on the screen that we had about 34,000 booth visits recorded last year. This is a really important tool to help you manage your leads and your post-show follow-up. The deadline for this is coming up, January 24th. Go on to the marketing kit, sign up for it. You do need to be active in place as an exhibitor in order to access it, but I highly encourage you to do this. Do it today. Don't lose out on a free lead retrieval. Okay, so people are always like, why do you have this slide? And somewhere along the line, the Housewares show gained a reputation for not being an order writing show. And that's just not true. Some of our exhibitors don't because they're there for other reasons than writing orders, and lots of times they're finalizing orders, whatnot. But you should be prepared to write orders at the show, and we've just made an order form for you to have on hand in case you don't want to bring a whole setup if you're, automated or whatnot. So you've got something to record when people come through and want to place an order. We do have quite a large independent audience, and they are very accustomed to writing orders. So the message here is to be prepared. Show signage. So you'll see up there we've got New for the Home sign, Made in the USA, and Smart Home products, along with no photography. I'm going to start with no photography. This sign is, you can see it's in a few different languages. It is up to you to make sure if you've got intellectual property in your booth that is out on display and you do not want it photographed, it is up to you to police that. There's no way we can do that for you. So these signs are available to make it known that you do not allow photography, but just be, conscious that people are going to be walking around with their smartphones, and just, don't be afraid to tell people you can't take a picture of that. And if you have issues, there's security measures you can take. Always we encourage you to take a picture of the badge of anybody who's breaking that rule. So you get the gist. I would order those signs. Okay, New for the Home sign, that's again another way for buyers and media to see what's new in your booth. These are unlimited. You can order as many as you want to place by your new products. And then Made in the USA and Smart Home, there's criteria here that you have to meet in order to apply for these signs. All of this is free of charge. So the Made in the USA, when you go into your HC365 and look at special marketing opportunities, the criteria will be in there. It's the federal guidelines for Made in the USA. Again, don't say you have Made in USA product if you don't meet those guidelines, because again, it's another sticking point with the buyers when they go to buy Made in the USA and they find out that it's only assembled in the USA or whatnot. So just be conscious. Once you do that, you're automatically put on a list and you'll receive 2 Made in the USA signs on Friday during setup. Smart Home's the same thing. It has to be a smart connected product in some way. It could be robotic, it could be app driven, but it has to be a smart product. So again, you have to self-select that. It's the honor system. And then again, you get 2 of those signs and those will be delivered to you prior to the show.
Nancy mentioned earlier that we do have a huge audience at the show from a retailer perspective, are the independents, and it's an avenue at the show that is growing. So this year, we've developed a new program called the Independent Retailer Program to make it easier for independent retailers to search out independent-friendly exhibitors, and it's certainly an advantage to those exhibitors who are independent-friendly to be able to be called out at the show for that independent audience. So we're really trying to refine that buyer-seller relationship for not only the exhibitors who are independent-friendly, but independent retailers as well. The program itself is really important for you to sign up for if you are independent-friendly, because it's going to come with several things. You'll notice, number one, that there is an independent-friendly, welcome independent retailer sign that will be designated and delivered to your booth if you sign up for this. In addition to that, in terms of the various pieces of marketing material that's available to you at the show, that will have designated independent-friendly for the independent retailers will be significant. One will be there will be designation in the printed directory for independent-friendly exhibitors. There will also be separate listings in HC365, which feeds the mobile app. And then lastly, as part of an educational event that we're conducting for independents, there will be a separate brochure/flyer that will be handed out to independents at our educational event that lists independent-friendly exhibitors. So all of that together, in addition to some segmented targeted marketing for independents to our independent-friendly exhibitors, really is an opportunity for you as an exhibitor to take advantage of this program. So to do that, you need to go into into the marketing kit, the company profile, to the page that's on the screen right now. It'll show here where to update your online company profile. Once you get there on the taskbar, you'll see the one highlighted here. Let independents know you welcome them and their business, and then that will require you to fill out the necessary information to take advantage of what I just outlined. Okay, the last thing. Now, those are all the things that you can do now to take advantage of activities during the show. I just want to touch on real briefly the activities that can take place post-show, and that's really accessing the 2020 buyer and media list. We talked about earlier how to grab the 2019 list for this show. About a month after the show, once we have an opportunity to gather all the data from our registration company, really ensure that it's accurate and that it's cleaned up, we will send an email out to you and all the exhibitors that the list is ready. We'll also conduct a webinar in spring in terms of how to access it and utilize it, but it's very similar to what I talked about earlier. You'll be able to go in and get the retail list for both international and domestic, as well as the media list in an Excel format to do your post-show follow-up. So with that, we're going to turn it over to Debbie. She's been waiting patiently to talk about all the great media opportunities. So Debbie, it's all yours.
Great. Thank you, Jon. The 2019 International Home and Houseware Show generated more than 500 million consumer impressions in the news media. That is consumer news media and also the trade publications. And you may wonder what a consumer impression is. That is simply the total viewership numbers from any TV or radio broadcasts that we had, plus circulation numbers for newspaper and magazine articles, and then internet viewing numbers that we could find. And we add them up, and that's how we get our consumer impressions. So as you can see, the show does have extensive reach globally around the world. That's not just domestic, but it is, a lot of it is. But we want you to be part of that coverage. And so the services I'm going to talk about over the next few minutes can help you be part of that. And my job is to help you get media coverage during the show and, let the media know about your products. And so, we please take advantage of the services that we offer, because a lot of them are free. So as Nancy mentioned, you received the paper kit, marketing kit back in November, and on the right is the page with all of the services that I'm going to be talking about. And some of them are listed, on the right side. So, but everything is listed on the website. And so when you click from the Inspired Home Show, and when you click on the marketing page, you'll see the tile for Attract News Media. And so you'll click there, and then that'll take you to another page with all of the services that we're going to talk about. The first one I want to mention is our show preview press event, and that is at the end of the month in New York City. This is a great way to jumpstart your show PR and to meet face-to-face with the news media. It's limited to 60 companies. I have about 5 tables left. So we still have a few openings if you'd like to take advantage of this. And as I said, it's a small setting. It's a small casual atmosphere. You get a 6-foot table on which to show up to 4 new products. The media come and walk around and will stop and talk with you, and you can demonstrate your product to them. A lot of the media who come to this event do not, unfortunately, come to Chicago. So if you think, oh, well, I'll see these people in Chicago, no, you won't. A lot of them, because they're on the East Coast and in the New York region, they like to come to this event and see the new products. And you can see the media RSVPs we have so far. We've got over 60 people that have registered to attend as media, and Wall Street Journal, Associated Press, Business Insider, Digital Trends, Fox Business. These are all very high quality media. We do vet them and make sure that they are appropriate to the industry before we allow them to register. We also have a lot of bloggers and influencers who have registered. So again, this is your opportunity in a 4-hour time frame to meet with 20 or more editors and talk with them about your products. The information is available on the website. And again, I have about 5 tables left, so email me if you have any questions. Next is the media registration list, and as Jon showed you before, it's on the same page with the buyer list. This is the list from the 2019 show and includes nearly 400 media who attended, both consumer and trade publications. And we encourage you to take this list and kind of look at it and create your pitching list for the show. The 2020 pre-registered list will be available in about a month, and about mid-February we'll have it on the website. But before then, you can see who usually attends the show and start contacting them. And we do include emails if the news media said, yes, you can post it for us. And again, this is free, so go and download it now. Now, one of the few services that is a paid service is our traveling media tour. And this happens it'll happen about the end of February, beginning of March, and we go into TV studios around the country. We go to about 10 to 15 different markets and do a news segment showing the consumers and the viewers the new products that will be debuting at the show. It's only open to 8 to 10 companies, so it is small and it's very exclusive. It is a little pricey. For a small company, it might be a little bit out of your budget. The cost is somewhere between $10,000 and $12,000, depending on the markets, the number of markets that you're in. And your product is based on your product features. You have category exclusivity based on your product's features. But it is a great way to get out there for the consumers to see your product, and also the buyers watch TV. A couple of years ago, one of the companies that participated, they'd been trying to get to a major retailer and get them to come see them at the show, and they could never make any headway. They happened to be in the tour. The tour happened to play in the city where this buyer lived. He saw them on TV, and he came to see them at the show. So it was a great win for the exhibitor. They got to see the buyer that they've been pitching for years to finally pay attention to them, and I believe they're now in their stores. The publicity value for last year's tour was over $236,000. So for that small amount that you're paying, you're going to get that much value out of it. Also, it's the only tour that is officially endorsed by IHA. So if you hear from other people who say they're doing a satellite media tour or a Housewares tour, if they're not this tour, our traveling tour, they're not sanctioned by IHA. And please email me if you want to, and I can, explain.
And it looks like, Debbie, the deadline is...
The deadline's coming. It's we have a few spots left. I think there's about 3 spots left. So if you are interested, please contact the vendor, and she will work with you, to get you in the event. Next, I want to talk about our online press room. And a lot of companies, they don't want to do paper press kits. They like to go green. They want to be online. And right now, Housewares Connect 365 does not have the capability to put your press kit in there. Somebody asked before if you can post press releases in there. You cannot. But this is one way to get your press releases online and for the media to see them. And we've partnered with Virtual Press Office, which is owned by Cision and PR Newswire, and they will put together a package for you. It's the Inspired Home Show online press room, and the packages start at $425, so even a small company, I think, can take advantage of this. And then they push it out to our registered news media and also to a list of media that sign up for the Virtual Press Office services. And again, it's a great way. It's up there. It will be up there until next fall, until we begin the next show cycle. So the media can go and look at your press information before the show, during the show, and after the show, and download it at their convenience. Then they also offer services for news release distribution. Some companies like to put their press releases out on the newswire. So if you contact VPO, they will work with you on packages for the PR newswire. Now I want to talk about the trade publications. We spend a lot of time talking about the consumer media, and everybody wants to get attention from them. But don't forget the trade pubs, because that's who the buyers are looking to find out about new products and new companies at the show. So on the website, we've listed 3 services to help you work with the trade publications. The first is a list of the editorial contacts. We put all of the trade publications that cover Housewares We put their editors up there so you can take that list and then send your information to them. Secondly is a new product news. All of the publications will do a pre-show issue. Some of them do show issues, and then a couple of them, HFN, Home World Business, and Kitchenware News, also do show dailies during the show. And they need to have information. They need product information to fill those issues. And this is how you submit it to them. And the best of all, it's free. This is an editorial opportunity, so there is no cost to you. All you have to do is submit your information. All of the criteria and the specifications are posted on the website, so take a look at those. We also list the international trade publications and their deadlines, and this is a way for you to get to those international buyers who come to the show because they read those magazines in their respective countries. So please take a look at those. A lot of deadlines are coming up very soon, and then you'll get free coverage through this. And lastly, if you do want to pay for advertising, we do put a list of the advertising deadlines up on the website, and then you can purchase ads in the publications. Now, as John mentioned, the most frequently asked question that we get is what's new at the show in terms of companies and new exhibitors. The second most asked question is who's going to be there? What celebrities are going to be at the show? What chefs are going to be at the show? And this special events and product demonstrations listing is a way for you to get that information out to the buyers and to the media who will be attending. These listings go in your HC 365 profile. You access it through the portal, the exhibitor portal, and then click on the link that says special events and product demonstrations. These listings are free, so whatever you're doing during the show, if you're just doing a product demonstration, or if you're having a celebrity, or if you're having a celebrity chef in your booth that's going to do book signings for buyers, you can list them here. Now, this is the featured new products for news, media, and buyers is a service that we've had for several years, and it used to be called New Product Information for News Media. And Nancy mentioned it earlier when we were going through the HC 365 profile listings, and you saw the photos and the product descriptions. And what we've done is, instead of just having it for news media and allowing them to see the listings when they log into their briefcase, we've opened it up to everybody who goes to Housewares Connect 365 and views company listings. So even buyers will see these, consumers will see these, the media will see them, and they are free. So for as many new products as you have, please, enter your listings. As you can see, last year we had 300 exhibitors who were featured in news media coverage because they took advantage of this service. And my public relations team also reviews these listings to make sure that they are seeing the products, and this is how they find products for the media. So to do this, you just go to the marketing kit, and you click on Attract Media, and then the link featured new products for medias and buyers. And it'll take you to this landing page that explains everything about the listing, kind of what information we ask for, how we use the information. Because some of the questions that we ask do not go into the listing in your HC 365 profile. It's information for my public relations team. They want to know how the product will be demonstrated, what's the special benefits of the product, when the product is going to be available, how much it will cost. But that information is solely for our use. It doesn't get published at all. So then you would click the Get Started button, and that takes you to the exhibitor profile, or the exhibitor portal. You log in here, and then that takes you to update your online company profile. Click there, and then the bar on the bottom says Featured New Products for News Media and Buyers. And so then when you click there, you'll fill out the form. And then you will choose a category in which your product will be listed, because on 365 they will have a search feature. And we have about 20 different product categories listed, and you can put your product in one of those, and then when the media or the buyer go and do the search function, all of those companies will come up.
Debbie, we have a question.
Sure.
These new products are all visible to my competitors as well, correct?
Correct. Correct. And the reason we decided to take it out of the from the briefcase and make it available to everybody is a lot of companies told me, well, I have to do double work because I have to do these listings, and then also in my 365 profile it has the products, and I have to post a photo and a description there. And there was no way we could take and kind of merge these, so we decided to just make it open and available to everybody so that everybody sees it and you don't have to do it twice. But yes, your competitors will see it if they look up your listing in 365.
Okay.
Now I want to talk about a couple of things that you can take advantage of during the show News Center and my press release writer service. So the News Center is the headquarters for the media at the show. This is where they're going to come to get their badges, get exhibitors' press kits, to hang out, to get away from the show floor, relax for a while. We have breakfast in the morning and lunch in the afternoon, and then snacks. We have a little workroom for them. And here you can put your press kits out for free for the media to take. And as you can see in the top two of the photos, we put the kits in plastic bins that we hang on a wall, and we put them out alphabetical by company. So it's important that you put your company name on the front of your kit, or you put a photo to kind of attract attention. And then the media come and they take these kits and we give them boxes, and we will ship the boxes back to their offices after the show for them, free of charge. So it's free for you to put your kits out there for the media to take, and then we send the kits back to the media offices free of charge after the show. You just need to send me your kits while we're on site. I'd like them by March 13th. If you want to drop them off when you come to set up your booth during move-in, we'll be there beginning on Wednesday, so we encourage you to stop by and drop your kits off. Okay, now if you want to do a press kit, you want to write a press release, but you don't have a PR person or you're not working with an agency and you want to write a press release, we have the service called My Press Release Writer. It's $99 per press release, which is a very reasonable cost. It's, you could do 4 press kits at 4 releases and have a press kit for $400, which is pretty reasonable, I think. All you have to do is answer some questions online about your company and your products, and within 48 hours you will get a Word document back in which you can use it however you like. You can post it on your own website. You can print it on letterhead for a paper kit. You could post it in the online press kit if you do that through Virtual Press Office. You can email it out to the trade publications or the media. It is yours to list. The vendor will also do some media distribution for you if you are interested in having her send it out to our media list, so you can talk to her about that as well. And it's a great service. I know a lot of our smaller companies take advantage of it, so I would encourage you to do that. Now I want to take a minute to talk about the news media at the show and their badges and the type of media we have. Media, in the past, they used to wear a blue badge because we had colored badge holders. This year, with our new badges, it will have the media type in blue print on the bottom of their badge. And we break the media down into 4 different classifications. News media, which is your traditional print, broadcast, or trade media. Internet media, which are the news websites and the internet-based publications. Bloggers, who are people with 10,000 to 50,000 followers. And these are usually your mommy bloggers, your foodie bloggers, your lifestyle bloggers. And then social media influencers who have over 50,000 followers and subscribers. And they're like your YouTube people or your really bigger bloggers. They have very nice websites and do very nice work. At IHA, we always used to say publicity is free. And if someone wearing a media badge asks you to pay for coverage, let us know. Well, that is still true for anyone with a news media or an internet media badge. If a reporter from a magazine comes in and says, I'll write a story about you, but you have to pay for it, or somebody with a video crew comes and says, you have to pay for your video, that's not appropriate. Please let me know. We won't let them be media. However, when it comes to the bloggers and social media influencers, they can talk to you about sponsorships and, doing some advertising on their site. That's fine. So I just wanted to make that distinction for you. Now, if you work with a PR agency, that's great, and we're happy to work with them too. But if you don't and you'd like to work with an agency, I have a list of Housewares-related agencies that I've worked with for many years, and they do great work for their clients. They work with all types of budgets. Please contact me, and I'm happy to send it to you. All these agencies know I have this list, and so and that I do send it to exhibitors and members who request it. So if you do want to talk to somebody, just let them know you got their name from me, and that they may answer your email just a little bit faster. But we're happy to help you guys out with this kind of information. Now, lastly, after the show, it's always important to do your follow-up like it is with the buyers. So when the buyer list becomes available, we'll also have the media list ready. We encourage you to download this list and use it to follow up with media who didn't come to see you at the show. Remember, there's 2,000 exhibitors, so they're kind of busy. But look at the list and see who you think would be interested in your product, and then get back to them after the show. And use this as your year-round pitching list. And lastly, again, I encourage you to update your Housewares Connect 365 profile throughout the year, because when media call me in June or July or August and say, hey, Deb, what are some of the new products this year? That's where I'm going to send them. So you want to have your updated information there. And I wish you a very successful show, and I'll see you in about 8 weeks.
Deb? So just a few housekeeping notes. We're getting ready to wrap this up, but there are a few important things we need to still talk to you about. So if you haven't booked your hotel, please go through On Peak, which is our housing service. Again, read those warnings. The housing people are the worst. They get you into deals that you can't get out of, and I have had some exhibitors fall prey to that. So please heed the warning. On Peak is our official housing provider, and we encourage you to go through them for any hotels. We work on rates with them, everything, so you should be able to find some good deals. Badge registration is open. If you haven't registered for your badges, please take care of that right away. This year is new for our badge pickup. We used to mail badges. We've gotten away from that based on feedback from our attendees and exhibitors who are like, you're the only show that mails. We want to pick it up on site. So here we are. You'll have a barcode. You get that scanned. You really can't pick up anybody else's badge. They will verify an ID, etc. Don't lose that barcode. And during the show, we also have a power hour that gets promoted. So the show officially ends at 5:30. However, we keep lights on and everything going until 6:30 if you want to go ahead and schedule evening meetings. I forgot to mention before when I was talking about displays, or John was talking about Pantone, etc., there is a new coffee display. We're in our second year. We have a celebration of coffee pavilion highlighting specialty coffee accessories, brewers, etc. You can access that through the website. It is a $300 entry fee. We had really great response to it last year, so I encourage you for that. John's going to talk about Ace Hardware for a minute.
Yeah, real quickly, back to the booking your housing. If you haven't, I know Nancy said encourage you to do so. I would encourage you as well because of the Ace Hardware Spring Convention. This year it is being held in Chicago at McCormick Place in the West Building, and it overlaps us by 1 day, but certainly which means it's on the front end overlap, which means their show is going on Thursday and Friday while you're there to set up. So they bring in thousands and thousands of people, so there'll be a lot of competition for rooms. So again, I'd encourage you to do that early.
So next, not to be confused with the Inspired Home Show, is our Inspired Home consumer platform. Actually, we were inspired by this as part of the rebrand for this year. So this is our actual consumer platform. Please go and check it out on the website. It's at theinspiredhome.com, not theinspiredhomeshow.com. And we're getting average about 600,000 impressions weekly. Up to the show, around now, we start to get about 1 million. This is a consumer platform, think Pinterest. There's an editorial. We have a team of bloggers and influencers we work with. You submit your product to them. They write about it. It gets posted on the website, and then consumers can shop that story, helping you grow your sales and getting your brand out there. So I encourage you to check that out. That is only open to exhibiting companies at the show. The next, we have an Excellence in Booth Design Award program. We're in our 4th year with it. I encourage you to go ahead and sign up for that to be judged. We have expert judges that go around. We narrow it down. It's a part of the GIA Awards. You get recognized. Unfortunately, on Sunday, we give you your award, but you get a mention at the GIA Gala in 21 as the person who won that. There's both an award for a large booth over 300 square feet and under 300 square feet. If you go to the webinars where we post all our education that we've done, there's 2 different webinars on that. The latest one, Grandstands, is for people who are in that 300 or less. But there's really good information about carrying your message through and lighting and product placement. And if you have any questions or need some consult on that, you can reach out to me and I can put you in touch with somebody. And now back to John.
Yep, real quickly, if you are looking for a representative, IHA could be a resource for you on our website. You'll see listed right there, or the direct websites where you can find links to finding a rep. It's sortable by geography, address, retail type, channel, name of company, etc. So if that's something of interest for you, please use us as a resource. I think we're just about to wrap up. Thank you for the questions we've had. Ginny, are there any more questions?
Yeah, we have one more. Is
Okay.
internet connectivity good at the show? Do we pay for that as extra as an exhibitor? We've had bad experience with lead retrieval and bad internet.
So that's a very good question, and here's what we'll tell you. There is a complimentary Wi-Fi service or internet service throughout McCormick Place, but I wouldn't say it's stellar. So basically, if it's mission critical for your company to have an internet access or a line, I'd order it. It's worth the money if you need it, if you're transmitting orders, if you're trying to show video or whatever, however you may need to use it. It's available. People can check emails, but I wouldn't suggest doing that for anything that's critical to your selling strategy on site.
Okay, is that it, Jenny, for questions?
That is it.
Okay, great. Well, thank you everyone for participating. This webinar, like I said, will be a link will be emailed to you within 24 hours, and as well as we put up on our website. For future webinars, please refer to the back of the marketing kit. I know Nancy referred to a couple others as well. If you were so excited about this one, we will be repeating it again the first week of February. So that's just more of an FYI. Again, here's contact information for the 3 of us. If you have any questions along the way, please feel free to reach out. If we can't answer your questions, we will put you in touch with someone who can. On behalf of everyone here at IHA, have a great show. Thank you.
Thank you.